Hello and welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's episode of Something to Do in the Unit. And today it's Mandy's van, currently putting the shopping away and replacing the solar. So the first job to do is to take off this old 100-watt panel, which is about 12, 13 years old, something like that. It still works, but obviously it's only 100 watts, not the peak performance because of how old it is. So going to utilize this space for a bigger panel. So problem number one, trying to remove the panel. These bolts are just spinning on the inside of that frame and there's no way I can get my hand in there to get a tool on there. So they obviously bolted it on there and then stuck this down. So it looks like the only way to do this is to actually remove this. Right, well that wasn't what I planned to do, but at least it's a way to get that off, and then we can try, now I can get under there, or if you like to the other side of there, I can get some fishing wire, WD-40 and that, and attempt to cut it out, and then sort of get rid of it that way. So now is the difficult bit, because now I've got to do that from the other side, but I've only got access via the side, and I don't know how strong this roof is, whether it's going to take my weight. So this is going to be interesting. Just looking on here, and they've tried to do a little repair on there. They've used bloody silicone sealant for bathrooms. Absolute useless. Do not use silicone sealant on a vehicle. It's not meant for it at all, folks. So that's going to have to come off and be properly repaired. The unfortunate thing about that is the other side looks like it's the same as well. And this supposedly had an inspection before we bought it. The awful thing is the previous owner's probably done this. Like, not being funny, but why would you use bathroom sealant on a vehicle? And at a point where all the rainwater collects and sits there. Absolutely insane. Just really is. It's only had one owner, so it has to be the previous owner. But yeah, for the motorhome dealer never to spot this, along with, like I say, along with the other side as well, is pretty bad in my view. Doesn't take a lot, you just get on the roof. Supposedly they've been on the roof to check everything out, so it doesn't take 5 minutes to walk around and you would see that instantly and see that silicone sealant, like bathroom grade silicone sealant, is not meant for vehicles. It breaks down under UV, so under the sun it'll break down, and then over time it'll just lose. I mean, just as you can see, it's peeling off now, so it just loses everything about itself that you would recognise to be useful in a bathroom. So it won't seal like that. It just becomes just a mess. So yeah, don't use silicone sealant on your campervan or motorhome to seal anything on the roof. Silicone sealant is for indoors only. For everything else, use Sikaflex, because that's what it's designed for, folks. So yeah, that's another job to add to my list. Once I've got that thing off, which brute force is working quite well now anyway, I'm going to get on this side now and free that one. I saw this when I put the other gland in a few weeks ago. I'm not sure why anybody would cover their electrical connections in cheap plastic, because it's just going to get condensation inside and water, which you can see there already. Look at that, it's damp. So yeah, can't wait to see what wonders lie inside there. So, ingenuity level 3. Yeah, used just some chocolate block connectors to connect them, which I guess would just about be okay for a 100-watt panel. Not ideal because you know they're outside. So someone's used what looks like to be a cut down lid of a spray tin, and then they've filled it with black silicone, which has sort of sealed it. And again, all you have to do is MC4 connections, and that is the standard way to do it, rather than Heath Robinson. And you would think that this has come out of a factory like this as an update. Let's not. Let's just assume that some idiot did it instead. Thinking that manufacturers did that is just scary. But yeah. Anyway, got those off. That now allows me to remove the panel once I've sorted this out. And then I can clean all that mess up and then put the new panel on. Problem with them putting silicone in there, it's actually gone into the groove of the screws. Right, there we go. So we can get rid of all that bobbins now. That's actually loose in there. Yeah, that needs tightening up a little bit as well to seal that back up. So at least we've got that out of the way now, and we can get the solar panel off. Just tuck that under there. I will put MC4s under there, don't worry about that. So MC4s are going on the new panel, but there's 2 panels going on the roof now. The new Renogy panel, and that's going to go in this space. So the second panel is going on the top there, and that's a FLEXI panel. And then obviously need to run the wires from there back down, probably down this rail here. Show you the rail. Obviously that's how I found that, because I was checking the rail out. That's kind of okay on this side, on that side it's loose. So yeah, so panel that way, cables down this way, and then connect this panel and the other panel somewhere around here. And yeah, put a connection on there, proper MC4 connection. But in the meantime, obviously I need to remove that thing. I have broken it off for now because that's just the way it is. The multi-tool on the other side was easy to get to, not so much on this side. So take it off and then clean up this thing. Guess the roof needs a bit of a clean now as well. So I just wanted to give you a bit of a comparison, because these are both 100-watt panels. This one's obviously a FLEXI panel, and this one they call a rigid panel. Obviously it's framed and it has a glass top to it as well. This is purely fiberglass, so this is flexible. This isn't. Now the next thing to note here, I could weigh it, but I'll just tell you anyway, is that this one is under 2.5 kilos. So literally nothing. This one is 12.5. 10 kilograms difference between the two. And the new one is smaller and more efficient as well. Right, anyway, that's that done. Let us now go and install that and the other one. Oh yeah, and if you're ever handling these, make sure you've got gloves on because they are fiberglass. Too much fun. Strange enough, can't say didgeridoo and stuff, can you, these days? So you can see where I went in to cut the holes out to get the panel off. And yeah, that was right. You can see the bolts inside down there, and they were just spinning, so it wouldn't have come off anyway. So yeah, multi-tool, chamfer that off as best as I can. It's actually really well glued on. They have used Sikaflex, so that's why it's so difficult to move. So I just want to get rid of the profile of it, so it's just out the way. Right, so that's that one off. And also I've started to clean the roof as well. A lot of people say, what do you clean your roof with? I use either all-purpose cleaner or just foam cleaner. So if it's a fiberglass roof like this, you're gonna have something that's quite friendly. So that is quite friendly, not a lot of chemicals in there or anything else. So for a fiberglass roof, that's ideal. And as you can see, it's now got a sheen on it. It's that clean. So I've had to take off, obviously, the brackets for this roof rail system. And you can see under there, even though they've used as much bathroom sealant, silicone as possible, it's still got under there. So things have changed somewhat. Mandy now doesn't want the roof rails on, so they're off. So I'll seal them up and they'll stay off. So what we're going for now is actually a panel I'm going to fit in my van over the front, which is a 200 watt FLEXI. And then the other 100 watt FLEXI, which was supposed to go here, across that way, to go back where the other 100 watt one. That's a better panel anyway, so it's going to produce more power than the one that was already there, the older one back there. But it's just this, isn't it?
No, it's not ideal, is it?
It's not perfect. That needs to be blocked off. These, when they're stuck down, need to be made sure that they're properly stuck down, so no wind or anything like that can get under there. And the problem with, well, motorhomes basically is that things are not flat, not like a panel van. So you got a curve going this way and a curve going that way. And then they're different sides, they're different kind of like profiles as well. So it's like, you know, that profile scoop there is a different place than that one. So things are not symmetrical. So we've got to work out what we're doing next.
We do.
As you can see from that face, one is not impressed. So I think that's the way we're going to do it. FLEXI there, FLEXI there, and I'm now just cleaning down all the stuff for the old brackets for the roof bars. And then Sikaflex, seal it all up, make sure it's nice, and then I'll start taping around there so I know where my line is for Sikaflexing. The first panel is stuck down. I've readdressed some of the cabling around there, moved the antennas to make it easy to cable in to the solar, and then obviously the bigger panels up there. Literally going to rinse and repeat what I've done here, laying down the tape so that I know when I slide it in place, it's exactly in place. And then, yeah, pretty much a tub of Sikaflex, squiggly all the way around, and then squiggly across the middle as well. So, stuck down nicely. Also sealed all the holes and all the cracks I found and everything in the fiberglass that was there for the roof rails. So all that's been done as well. So today's task is to put the big panel this way on the roof. So it's a 200 watt panel, it is a FLEXI panel, so it's going to slightly curve over there. I've marked out exactly where it's going to sit and also marked out any high points so that I know that I don't need to put so much Sikaflex on there, but I need to put more under there so it still bonds in the right place. Obviously another high point there, and then there we're going to have to develop some sort of triangle to fill the gap, but I'll explain that more when we do it. So all I'm doing now is cleaning the roof, again the foam spray, and then isopropanol contact cleaner to give it a perfect contaminant-free sort of surface for the Sikaflex to stick to. So I just got to go on the other side and do the same. The irony of using portable solar panels as the weight for sticking down the FLEXI solar panel. And then double irony, because of the shape of the roof, so it curves that way and it also curves this way, the portable solar panels are quite flat, so I'm having to use the packaging that the FLEXI panel came with to just kind of like make sure that it pushes down on the side. As you can see from my head, it's roasting today, and the further you come up into the headspace of the unit, the hotter it gets. So yeah, ooh, bet that's a good thumbnail. Right, get crack on. And while the Sikaflex was drying off, I went outside and took some more photos of Mandy's old van now that it's actually ready. So it's been fully done, gone over the paintwork, gone over all the electrics, everything else. So it's now absolutely pristine, ready to go. And then we've listed that on eBay. So if you do want to check that out, I'll put it in the link in the description down below. and then it was back into the unit to work out how to fill in that sort of profile at the back. So the rest of it's all nice and stuck down now. So I just used the little bits of foam that like I said, the packing came with that you saw before. It seemed like it was going to be thick enough. It's easy to cut. So it's just a case of working out the profile shape, cutting it to the right size, and then making the infill bits, sticking them down with Sikaflex. So Sikaflex underneath and over the top. Put some weight on there. Job's a good one. Right, we are done. So cabling all sorted out, cables all renewed and refreshed, and then extension little cables to this panel, and then the little infill bits under there, and then all Sikaflex down. Obviously I'm putting extra weight on this bit. That bit cured overnight, so this bit needs to cure today, and then that's it. More solar for Mandy. And if anybody is questioning the fact that it goes over the curve like that, apparently it's just as efficient flat as it is as an absolute arc. So I guess a final and probably quite detailed little topic is why sort of flexi panels, why not rigid panels? Because a rigid panel, well, that, as you see, that does flex somewhat, especially after this bit flexes all the way to the back, even though I've put some sort of like little rear supports on there to hold it in place. So a sort of rigid panel wouldn't have really gone there aesthetically and practically, and probably even safely actually. So that's why flexi panel suits the front. The back, obviously we've replaced a rigid panel with a flexi panel, and that is because the back panel was old anyway. And the new panels with the new technology, solar cells and everything they're putting, are much more efficient. So they will work under different light conditions, which is good for the UK where we don't get direct sunlight all the time. And also, you know, a little bit of shading and trees and things like that. They're more durable than they used to be, because now they are made of fiberglass, and obviously this is fiberglass too. So the monocoque chassis of this, well, the chassis is obviously aluminium steel, but yeah, the monocoque part of this, the actual habitation part of this, is totally fiberglass. So the panels being fiberglass, but doesn't really make any difference. It means they're durable, they'll last a long time. They don't weigh an awful lot either. So like I say, that one was 4 kilos for a 200 watt panel. As a bit of an aside to that, if we go over this side, those are 175 watt panels, and they weigh about 8 or 9 kilos. So it's less solar for more weight. But more importantly, you never really want to have too much weight high up on your vehicle. Affects stability, especially in the wind and things like that as well. So yeah, that is why we've gone for these. More efficient, less weight, and yeah, more practical for, you know, circumstances where rigid panel wouldn't work anyway. So like I say, they are wired in parallel. They're both a 12 volt panel, so they're wired to 12 volts through to the solar controller. So that's the positives together and the negatives together into the solar controller. So you're still getting the same voltage, but you're getting double the power essentially, or more amps to go through. And it does help, like I say, if the back end of the van wants to be under shade, or the front end of the van wants to be under shade, the other panel will still work. Whereas they're in series, that would be effective an awful lot as well. So there we go. Right, that's it for this video. Here's a quickie just to talk about, you know, changing panels, removing them, installing new ones, installing different types of panels, the explanation of why, bit of fault finding, and yeah, and everything else as well. So I shall catch you on the next video, folks. Take care. Bye.